This is called the beating. I'm lying on the operating table, crucifix style, with leather straps binding my arms. The needle in my spine has erased my body. I am a floating head. You won't be able to feel your lungs, my doctor says, but you're still breathing. Someone holds my breath. It feels as if I'm swimming the full length of the pool and back. The beeping intensifies. An alarm goes off. My eyes flutter into the fluorescent lights. Is she okay? My husband asks. Her vitals are fine, my doctor replies. I turn my head away from them and clench my face. I wonder if my body is sobbing, if my heart is beating. Can we untie one of her hands? My doula begins. So she can feel her breath? I guess, the doctor says. Someone unbuckles my right hands. I watch my fingers wiggle. I cover my mouth and miraculously, I feel the tiniest in my palm. I'm breathing as if I'm fogging up a mirror. My hand is a piece of glass. My body, if I have a body, is suddenly cold, like I'm in an ice bath. I begin to shake. The doctor's face behind her mask is unfazed by my clamoring. I look at my husband, who is wearing scrubs, but not a mask, and he looks incredibly young. Too young to see his wife quivering on a table. Is there anything we can do about her shaking, he asks. The shaking is normal, the doctor says. I hear a rhythmic beat that is warmer than the beeping and the buzzing. I listen to it as I in my hand. Can we put a blanket under her elbow, my doula suggests. Her elbow is banging the table. The doctor sighs, a nurse appears, the beating stops, and strangely, I miss it. I'm going to make the incision now, my doctor says. I am a pumpkin. The doctor cuts through my tissues, slowly carving her way to my uterus. When she reaches my abdominal muscles, she separates them with her hands, like my mother, who is waiting outside, has unbraided my hair. We have the baby's feet, the doctor says. You're going to feel some pressure. I am so grateful to feel anything that I almost say, hurt me. Her hands knead my stomach. I am dough and she a baker. She rises on her toes and she flattens me out. Only the pressure I can feel. When the pressing stops, the pulling begins. There is deadlock. The doctor pulls against the strength that I'm harboring inside of me. Its stubborn head stuck underneath my right rib. Its unwillingness to turn is why I'm being cut open. I don't know how I know this or even if it's true, but the doctor's hands are around the baby's ankle and I can feel her shimmying life out of my incision. The doctor plunges back like she's catching a giant fish and pulls out something the size of the universe. I breathe into my hand. I am an empty vessel. The doctor lifts up this white mass of pulsing flesh high above the blue sheet like a sacrifice and asks, "Do you want to announce the sex?" No one responds. She repeats herself. She holds the baby that is not bloody, but covered in toothpaste, into the bright lights. Its white face tightens, but it doesn't make a sound. It's a. She angles its swollen genitals to my husband. "Girl?" he questions, and the doctor nods. "Yes." Color rushes to his face. My husband looks like he might actually jump with joy. I close my eyes. Somewhere I am deeply happy, but I cannot feel exhilaration yet. My heart is cold, even colder than the ice bath that my girlhood is drowning in. Tears fall from my eyes. "Why is she white?" I ask in the thinnest voice. "Is she okay? She hasn't cried. She isn't moving." "It's called varnix," the doctor replies. "Babies that are early are still covered in it." Somebody wraps her up. They hold her white goo to my face. I turn my neck. She has huge purple lips, my husband's lips. They hand her to him. His entire being grins into her barely open eyes. The genetic blueprint passes, and it's instant love for them. I perform a smile and watch my husband, whose abdomen is still intact, beam with happiness. And instead of being moved, I selfishly think, I transformed while you only watched. A team of eager scrubs comes in and takes her to a plastic case. Somebody tells me that they're checking her vitals. Her vitals are good. My husband follows them, leaves me, rolls the baby outside to my mother. My mother is waving and holding the baby. She will still be holding the baby when I'm rolled into post-op, waiting for my body to unthaw. But now I'm left with a doula, 2 women doctors, and a female nurse. That was 13 minutes, the doctor says. We have about 30 more. I remove my hand from my mouth and sink into the bottom. I'm underwater with my eyes open. It is silent. I no longer hear the beeping or the buzzing. I watch my doctor as if she's working on someone else. Her movements are small, her eyes are intense, but not unkind. She tells me she's removing my placenta. I hear something wet drop into a bucket. She rearranges my organs, cupping them with her hands, and glues me back together. The doula begins rubbing my scalp, pulling me out by my hair. I emerge a mother. Thank you.
Jennifer.